Hi everyone, once again, welcome to Code Speak by R by Neeraj, your host by RDMR. And guys, today I have a very great personality with us who have written multiple books, talks about multiple motivation sessions, is changing life of people, and is also a coach, motivational speaker, author, talking about 10 to 12 different books, very well accepted through the globe. Let's welcome Mr. One and Only Arun Malik. How are you, Malik sir?
Thank you very much, Neeraj, for a good introduction. No, I don't think I'm worthy of so much adjectives, but I'll accept it anyway. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Yes, you are worthy of all these adjectives and maybe many more, which I have not said. So thank
Thank you
you,
very much.
Arunji, once again for joining. So to begin with, Arunji, you know, uh, I just wanted to understand a bit more about you as a personality. Then we'll talk about your books and all of that. So how did you started your career, your life, and what exactly made you what you are today?
Look, I'll start from my education. My schooling started in Amritsar. I studied from Kendriya Vidyalaya Amritsar, which was in cantonment, and Kendriya Vidyalayas are in a way, another way, are called central schools. So I did my 12th from there, and then I went to do engineering at MNIT Allahabad, Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology. I did my BE mechanical from there, and I passed out in 1992. Then
Okay.
I decided to work for 1 year, get some industrial exposure. So I worked in a power plant in a chemical factory, and then I decided that I don't want to grease my hands all my life. So let's do for something else. So left my job, came back home, and prepared for CAT exam and other IM MBA exams, and prepared for a year, and then I gave my exams and got through IRMA Anand in my first attempt. IRMA is full form is Institute of Rural Management Anand. It's one of
Okay.
the top business schools in the country, and specifically catering to rural management side of the things. And I did my PGDM from there, and I passed out in I was there in 1994 to 1996, and subsequent to that, I've been in corporate sector, primarily into IT sector. I have worked with IT multinationals in India, US, and UK. So I had a career spanning 2 decades in different countries. And once I wanted to settle down, I came back to India, and I was working in Pune, and I was working in IT multinationals, wherein I was facing a challenging work environment where the US market, where my client was based, was going through a turmoil, and there were a lot of funding cuts, there were a lot of budget cuts, and we were swimming against the tide. Despite putting us 16 hours in a day to work, we were not able to survive. So I got disheartened with this, and I started jotting down few lines just to vent out my frustration and anger and feeling of hopelessness. I started jotting down quotes on my social media accounts. It started as a casual habit, but it kind of took a form of a regular habit, and people started liking those quotes. And somebody suggested me that why don't you take this as a full time vocation and publish a book of your own. Once I had seizable number of quotes, so I lashed on to the idea, and I published my first book in year 2010. I left my job, the same job which I was struggling with. I left my job, and these quotes were kind of, I had written them to motivate myself. But when I started realizing that they are motivating others also, so I took that as a my mission in life, that I need to motivate the world around me, and if I can touch as many lives as I can possibly be, that would be my aim in life. So then I have written 10 motivational books in a period of spanning 13 years, and I'm more known abroad than in India. My target audience is worldwide markets, and my books doesn't have any context like they have. Generally, when people write in India, they have a Indian contextual settings. My books are, they transcends gender, race, religion, nationalities, and they are universal in nature, and they can be read by people of any nationality, any race, any religion, or any age group. So they are universal in nature. So they impact. I wanted to impact as many lives as possible, and that's why I carefully chose my target audience. So
Wow.
this
Wow.
strategy worked in a way that I'm more famous in Australia, UK, US, and Netherlands, and many countries where
Hmm.
people do read quotes, and quote reading is a kind of a general habit. So this
Right.
has been my author journey. I do give motivational lectures and speaking assignments and coaching assignments, but that is very rare. And only when I have some acquaintances or friends ask me to do that, then only I do it. I don't kind of pitch myself very frequently on that direction.
Agreed. Agreed. Wow, what an inspirational journey, and I can see it's directly coming from, the deepest part of your heart. You've gone through it. You've seen the turmoils. You started motivating yourself, and then you felt that yes, there are people who are just like you, who is struggling, may definitely need your help. And I think that's a very noble cause and thought, which is which is now created its own kind of a wave in the world.
Yeah,
People are,
definitely it is.
yes, yes, brilliant. So now my question to you, Arunji, how do you get such quotes in your mind? How what kind of chemical locha you have in your mind which gives you these quotes? What How will you spontaneously create out of it? Do you read
Yeah.
more books, listen to motivational speakers, or you create your own sense of creativity out of it? How does it function?
All these motivational quotes which I have written, they have come out from my own life experiences. You can't
Okay.
read from somebody else and kind of create your own story around it. No,
Right.
it has to come from your own experiences. Your what have you faced in life, how you overcame them. And my best time of my day is when everything is silent all around me and it's night time. I stay awake all night long, and I kind of that's the time when I can concentrate very easily because there are no disturbances around me. And I work on my laptop and pen down as many quotes as possible. I reflect upon different aspects of my life, different instances of my life, and I try to derive some motivational stuff out of them. And then I jot them down in a form of a sentence or a quote, and I choose words which are powerful and impactful.
Okay. So you get into solace, you get isolated, you calm yourself down, you sit, you relax, and then you start working on the laptop and you get ideas of your life experiences. I think that's great. So somebody who wants to be a motivational speaker or a writer, not even a motivational writer, just a journal writing, what is something which they should keep in mind before they start writing? So what do
No,
you
writing
suggest?
has different categories. Writing has different category. Whether you're writing fiction, it has a different, entirely different ball game. If you're writing non-fiction, it is entirely different ball game.
Okay.
Non-fiction people write when they have accumulated a mass or a wealth of experience in certain domain. They have become subject matter experts, and then based on research and their insights, they write non-fiction books.
Okay.
Whereas fiction is something which needs your imaginative powers. You have to be
Right.
creative. So these are two different ball games. You have to decide what is your forte is, which area you are strong in, and what experience you come across with, and based on that you have to decide which genre you want to write in, and then kind of write accordingly.
Right. Right. Now that's something very insightful. Now, there are people who like to write randomly. They just pick up paper, they start writing. If they are if
That's
they
not
are
a
in
good
a mood.
strategy. You have to be clear in your mind who's your
Mm.
target audience, who you are writing for, what you are writing, where it is coming from, whether does it make sense or not, whether all the building blocks are there or not. It has to have a structure. First, you have to decide about the structure. Then you have to put in the meat in the structure. So it's a kind of a science.
Mhm.
As much as it is art, it is science as well.
Right. So writing a book is kind of, a scientific approach. It's not like
Yeah.
that something came in my mind and I have wrote something. It's not like that.
No, 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 no. It's
So
not like that.
for the people, I have seen multiple people, Arunji, who are, who have habit to write, but they are not able to formulate the entire structure, or
Yeah, because
maybe,
the structure is missing. Because the structure is missing.
yeah, yeah. So they
You
started
have to have.
writing. Eventually, they stop and they forget about writing in certain
Yeah,
sense,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they, after a couple of months, they believe that, oh, I started writing, now I have to complete it. So it takes lot of time for them to complete one subject or maybe a short book. So how
For
do
writing,
they?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For writing, you have to have clear idea what is the start point and what is the end point, and
Oh, okay.
what is there in the middle, what is there in the near the end. Now, once
Right.
that clarity is there, you have to have a clarity what you're going to write. You cannot arbitrarily start writing something and then forget it about it and again restart it, again forget about it. That doesn't work out in that way, because when you are making somebody read your book, he has to be enticed to read something. If it's unstructured, if it doesn't have any particular theme about it, it doesn't have any narrative about it, then
Right.
how people are going to read your book?
Mm-hmm. That will be very blocking kind of thing because the idea will not match from
Yeah,
previous one to the next one.
yeah.
So yeah. So there are
People should
people
be
who start to
enticed.
write.
People should be enticed to read your book.
Right. Right.
And writing is only 10% of the job in an author's journey. 90% is marketing that book. Because people will not buy your book unless until they've heard your name from somewhere else.
Excellent. I agree to this. Yes. Yes.
Nobody will
Yes.
buy your book if you have they have or not already heard your name, or
So
you're a
it's more.
celebrity, or you're a
So
celebrity.
it's more related to the branding than writing. You're saying.
Now, marketing takes 90% of the job.
Right. So
And it's
there.
not like this that you write today and overnight you'll become success. Your
Yeah.
name percolation takes maybe 5, 10, 12, 20, 15, 20, any years. So success is not instantaneous. It takes time to build up. It takes time to percolate.
I agree to this. Now, the more people read, the more they talk, the more they
The
discuss about the
word of mouth goes in market.
right, right. So, why did you only? So, I agree that something which went wrong in your career have motivated you, started writing motivational things. Are you also writing something different than motivation?
No, because my forte is motivation. I fought against very tough odds, very tough odds. My life has been a hallmark of tough circumstances. And in fighting those tough circumstances, I developed a natural ability to kind of be a winner. And I write from my own experiences. I don't
Right.
kind of copy it from somewhere else. I don't buy secondhand ideas. Everything which is kind of written by me is from my own life.
That's so inspiring and brilliant to understand that somebody who is actually got into so deeper level of the reverse psychology of their life is now motivating people out of the bad things which they have faced. And mostly when I talk to people in this podcast, normally everybody talks about the life experiences of what they have gone through have created what they are today. And I think
Mhm.
that that is very common passion about the successful people like you who are not relating to somebody's life and creating out of as a
Hmm.
story, but they are utilizing their own good and bad experiences to generate something as a storytelling to the people. And I
Yeah,
think that's an
at the same time, like I don't want people to make mistakes which I made. So
right,
I'm creating
right,
awareness. I'm creating awareness sort of thing in the world that if you are faced with certain situation, this is how you have to handle. I had to learn my own way. I had to stumble. I had to fall back, and then I got up and learned my own way. I don't want people to do the same. They have
right.
ready-made and handmade material ready with them.
I agree. I agree. So now this comes. I can sense the the subjectiveness in your voice, that how hard hitting it is, then when you're saying that I don't want people to go through what you have went, and it's clearly shows, and it the convictionly, the thing which you are talking about is so intense that people who are listening to you today may be getting to know you a little better. So to move on further, Arunji, we would like to know about you as a person. What kind of person you are? Are you more jolly, outgoing, meeting up people, or emotional, or what kind of personality are you?
I'm very emotional. I'm very emotional, very sensitive. At the same time, I make people laugh a lot. I make it a habit to kind of generate fun out of even a normal situations, and that is the ability I have. So I have a very good sense of humor, and whichever groups or circles or social media, social friend circles I am in, they know me that I will kind of deliver something which is out of the blue and make everybody laugh. That is how I am known as. And
That I agree. I'm following all of your. There are a couple of groups which I'm part of, and there are some serious discussion, and here comes your message, and everybody started giggling. I agree what you're talking about. That so
so
you have
that's
developed
I
this
am very
over the
sensitive.
period. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah,
Please go ahead.
yeah. Look, I was going through very tough time in my life, and the options were with me. I go into depression or I come out of it. So I kept myself happy. I kept making fun situations out of nowhere, and I kept myself jolly mood. So even my friends comment that, Arun, sir, how come you stay so happy? Because most of them knew my circumstances. Still, they say, how come you stay so happy? None of them
Right.
knew that I used to make efforts to make myself happy.
Oh, okay, okay. So it is more of the pushing mechanism for you to be happy. So it is
Happy.
not coming naturally. You need to push yourself to be more contented, more happy, more. Uh,
Happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice.
yeah.
You have to
Okay.
choose happiness, and I chose happiness.
Wow. What a thought. You told me that you had two choice. Either you go in depression or you can be happy. So you choose to be happy.
Yeah,
And there
yeah.
are people who don't even have choice, Arunji. I'm talking about the people who are listening to you today. Maybe uh, sometimes they don't have choice. They don't even know if there is a choice to be happy or no. They are just
You
going
have
with
to
the
choose.
flow in
You have
their
to make a choice.
life.
Some like there were no choices in front of me either. The only option which was me was to commit suicide or go into depression. But I chose happiness. I chose happiness over it.
Wow. So how about your, the surroundings, the people around you, the loved ones, the family? How they react to
They
something which,
supported me. Luckily, I have my mom with me, and she's been a pillar of strength for me. My wife is a pillar of strength for me, and my mom, the foremost, I'd say, she has stood behind me like a rock. When the whole world deserted me, she was there behind me like a rock, and she gave me strength. She's phenomenal. She's phenomenal. And I make it a point to kind of take care of her in whatever way possible because her presence is sufficient for me to face life challenges in a very easy manner.
so you owe it to your mom, you're saying that
Yeah,
everything
I
is
would
there.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There are nobody can replace the position of your mom in your life. That's for
Exactly.
everyone. That's for everyone.
Exactly. Exactly. No, I agree, and that makes complete sense when you're talking about, the support function that directly comes from the family, and who is the better one if it's not the mom. I agree
Hmm.
to this, right? Now, moving on to, something more special about the books, which is the most special book which is very close to you with out of these 10 books which you have written.
All books, all my 10 books are my babies, and they are equally loved ones. When parents, they don't differentiate between one kid to another kid. They are their babies. These books are my babies, and all of them, they have my heart poured out into them. And they are very hard hitting books, very hard hitting, impactful books. When people read it, they kind of give me the feedback. They kind of change their mental attitude towards life. That's what people give me feedback.
Right, right. I'm sure the first one will be very, very special, or maybe
First
the
one, it does, it is very special. But you know, I look at it this way. Oh, I wrote 10 books over a period of 13 years. So first
right.
book was, I was a novice. I was inexperienced. As I moved
Yeah.
along, I improvised. I improvised. So there was a learning curve involved. So my best effort is my last book.
Of course, yes, yes. You have put in all the learnings and experiences over the past 10, 12 years, which
13
you have
years,
learned
13
writing.
years.
You have put it
Yeah.
in. Are you also writing any new book coming up? Are we looking for any new book
I
coming
have
soon?
ideas. I have ideas. I have not started jotting them down yet, but
Okay.
I'm waiting for certain events to happen. Once those events happen, I will. I have a thematic kind of representation already made up in my mind, and
Right.
based on that theme, I want to write a book. Everything is kind of up there in my mind. I have to put it externally to the world, present it to the
Right.
world as of now.
So the structure is created, it's just that you need to put
Structure
in
is
the block.
created. Everything is ready.
Right, right.
I'm
So
just
when are
I'm
you
just waiting for
expecting
certain events to happen, and once those events happen, I'll kind of deliver that baby.
it? Wow. Nice, nice. So, Arunji, let's move on something about the today's people. What is something which you feel people are lacking in reading out the books? I can understand the writer's part of it, but there are very few who would like to read books, but somehow the other they are not finding time, or they are not so much inclined, or they are not so much motivated to read a book. So what kind of one suggestion would you give to such people who would definitely want to read books, but they don't find the right time, or maybe they are not
My
getting something motivation out of it?
my pivot on reading is not reading for the reading sakes or getting a literary snobbish attitude. No, you
Mhm.
read because you want to learn. Learning is the key. You want to learn lifelong. If you make learning as your
Goal.
learning as motto in your life, I started reading newspaper when I was in eighth standard. I used to read the entire business and economy section of newspaper when I was in eighth standard, and I have continued that habit since for last 42 years now.
Wow.
So can you
Mhm.
imagine that in 42 years where my learning would have gone if you
That's
pursue
true.
consistently over a period of long time? So make
That's true.
learning a habit. If you don't want to read books, fine, it's fine. Read articles, knowledgeable articles, read newspaper, increase your horizons, widen your knowledge. Nobody
Mhm.
can stop you if you want to learn. And tools are easily available. You don't have to even buy a newspaper today. It's all available online today. Everybody has a smartphone. What does it take to open a smartphone and read newspaper? What does it take to read an online article which adds to your knowledge? It's all freely. Content is freely available. Now do you even have uh, artificial intelligence coming into the picture?
Mhm.
So
No, I think.
resources are available. You have to make up a mind and make it a habit to read on a daily basis, not for becoming a literary snob. I don't even like the snobs even in my life. You do a learning, you get onto a learning curve, make small efforts initially, and as you go further over a long period of time, you'll find your vocabulary increasing, your diction increasing, your literary skills increasing, your English language skills improving, and if your communication skills improving, and that will impact all aspects of your life, your career, your personal relation, everything will improve.
Oh, wow. I think that's a great insight. If reading book is not something which people should target, learning is something they should.
Which
Yeah,
target?
think that is something, the key message which you have conveyed. And you rightly said it is more interpersonal skill getting developed over. If you start even reading newspaper articles or anything which is there available on smartphones, and they're actually impacting the interpersonal skills and the life eventually. And so that is why reading is important, whatever it may. But if you really would like to be part of the readers club or anything of something which is more related to the booker books, that's no big things. Maybe there is something which is better for people, but yeah, for the people who are looking to get motivated, they are not so much confident in their life to do something, they may be looking out for certain options available, specifically to the books which you are talking about, who is directly coming from the the personal experiences. So that's an excellent way of showing the gratitude towards the people, Arunji. I think that is a commendable job, and I really want to congratulate you on this. So moving on to the last section of this conversation, we can do the longer discussion, but there is a time limit we need to be focused on. But Arunji, what is that one common thing which you would like to share with the younger people or maybe the older ones, which help them to become what they want to in with respect to what you have gone through over the last couple of years, and you found the journey as a perspective of writing. There are people who are stuck maybe into the similar situation. They don't have choice to write, they don't know what to write and all of that. How they can come out of that situation, if there are any other options other than writing motivation or reading or anything of that sort?
Whatever you're good at, you need to find, identify what you're good at. You have to find, you have to dive deep in yourself, find what you're good at, what is your passion, what you are naturally inclined to, something which doesn't feel like work, something which you enjoy doing, and make that your job, that your profession, and excel in that. That's my simple advice to all youngsters. You're likely to excel in that. You'll create a name for yourself in that field.
So whatever you like, whatever you enjoy, you just do that, and do
Do
that
that.
with
Yeah.
complete
And
passion.
whatever you are strong in, whatever your strengths are there, whatever you're strong in, you have to dive deep in. You have to do a self analysis first. You cannot
Yeah.
arbitrarily say that I'm good at something. You have to do analysis, self analysis, dive deep inside yourself, find out
Mhm.
from others, take feedback, what you are good at or not. And once you decide that this is something which is my forte, I'm strong in it, this is my passion too, I love doing this, just straight away jump into that. And you'll excel in the world. You'll create a name for yourself in the world.
So powerful message, Arunji. I think most of the people who are listening to this, particularly today, are actually not only getting motivated, but they know the direction if they are stuck. They know what
Yeah.
is to be done. And this is very, very convictionally you are saying that, we can really sense that voice, what you are talking about. It's directly coming from the heart. And I believe what you say is exactly uh, is the point which you are making is exactly the impactful point for the people who are listening to you. And we are blessed to have you today on our show.
It was
Thank you,
my
Arun.
honor. It was my honor, Neeraj. When I got associated with you, I didn't knew, I was not able to kind of forecast what's up in there. But so far, your journey with you have been a very blessed one, and it is kind of very fulfilling one. And I appreciate the kind of effort you guys make. I don't have to say anything to you, and I see the initiative coming from you guys, which I'm not able to cope up with. So I'm sorry for that, but keep it up. You are doing a good job.
Excellent, sir. Thank you so much for kind words. It was lovely having you on the show today. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was the greatest motivational writer of our times, Arun Malik. Please directly go to his website, arunmalik.com, or you can find his books on Amazon and get any guidance which you are looking for. Thank you. And this is Neeraj Goyal signing out from Co Speak by R today. Enjoy your stay and have a blessed day. Thank you, Arunji, for coming up.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.